Hi everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Amelia and today we're going to be talking about some of my recent decks that I've been gravitating towards. I know that some of these deck videos may be getting a little repetitive, I hope it's not, but you guys let me know. The main reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to be traveling soon, and so I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the decks that I've been using before I get back from my travels, because when I get back I want to dive into my deck study and kind of the things I've been working on behind the scenes that you guys haven't seen. So we're going to go ahead and just start diving in to some of the decks that I have been loving and using, and some that I think I'm going to be using a lot coming up just because of travel. So let's just start there. So I have this cute little tarot in a tin. It's the Smith White Tarot Deck Centennial Edition, and I love this little deck. There is a bigger version of the same cards that I'm tempted to get, and right now I only have 2 minis, and I want to get more mini decks. There's a few on my wish list. I'm hoping to get them this year because I don't really travel with my tarot very often, or as I used to, and I want to start bringing little tarot in a tins with me. You can kind of see the edges are beat up here. I used to take this deck in every bag I had, and then I just stopped doing it, and then people would ask for tarot readings while I'm out with friends and stuff, and I wouldn't be able to do it because I didn't have a tin or a mini. So I want to get a couple more because this one is wonderful. I do love it, but I used it a lot. Now all of my decks have little crystals, so this little crystal here is a Dalmatian jasper, I think? Maybe? I'm not really sure. Is it dolomite? I don't know. I would put a note on the screen. I'm trying to do all of this off the top of my head, so I don't really know. But I have that little one. It kind of matched the little white font in the dark sides. Okay, 10s are hard to open. There we go. And then this deck does have a little white book. Alright. So, yeah, these cards, I love mini decks. Mini tarot decks have such a cute sizing. They're so easy to shuffle. I mean, look at that. And then you can just lay, oh great, what a wonderful card to get, right? You can just lay a bunch of cards down and get such a, I don't know. You have a huge spread and it doesn't take up much space. That's the main appeal for me. And probably for most people. But I do love minis. So this does just have the, typical RWS cards. We saw a lot of those. So it's the classic imagery, but it's a little desaturated. Is that the right word? It's not as bright and vibrant as my classic RWS is. The Centennial is definitely a little faded. It feels old. There's a grainy texture to it that I really enjoy. Yeah, I really enjoy that. And that's why I want the bigger size, because I really do like this desaturated color palette with it. I don't know, it just feels vintagey. I'm so used to this being so bright. So I kind of do want the bigger version. I just haven't purchased that yet. But yeah, it's just the traditional imagery, super easy to read, probably one of my favorite decks to travel with. I mean, because I don't have that many anyway. It was my only travel deck for the longest time, but also the reason I like taking it is because I love the classic imagery. It's just easy to read and I understand it, and I really resonate with the artwork. I do like that it's not as bright and colorful, and I just love the way it fits in my hands. It's so easy to shuffle, just natural. So the reason that I have this as my recent deck faves is not because I've been using it a lot recently, but I'm about to travel, and so by the time you guys are seeing this, I might be back from my travels, but I am going to be taking this with me, and so since it's going to be with me, you guys are, I mean, I'm not going to make another recent deck roundup type of thing coming up, so yeah, I'm just letting you know now. This is going to be well used in the coming days, honestly. Okay, so the next deck that I want to show you guys that I will be using a lot is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. This is my go-to spring deck. I'm matching it with my green. I have the blue chalcedony, I believe that's how you pronounce that, as the stone for it. I'm not a huge fan of the box, to be honest, but I mean, it works. Not a huge fan of the shape. I mean, it just is strange. It's weird to put it back. You'll see how I do it. The backs are so cute. I love the fairies, and honestly, like, fairies make me think of spring. They always do. They always will. I love the colors. I love how cute the artwork is. And honestly, I have been getting into fairies. We got a little fairy here. I've been getting into fairies a lot more. Fairies and angels, which is something that I wasn't really into. Like, I've been more witchy and into, like, spooky things. Maybe that's my Scorpio sun. I don't know. But I've recently been, I don't know, drawn to fairies and angels. So you guys are going to have to let me know if you know any really good angel and fairy decks that you guys are like. There's a few on my wish list, but I haven't purchased them yet. But every spring, every year, I pull this deck out, and I put a couple cards on my altar space of energy that I want to draw in, so there's actually a couple up there right now. And I just put them up there so I can be reminded each day of, like, the energy that I'm trying to attract. I'm actually going to be swapping out those cards because they've been up there for a hot minute. But I love using this deck in the springtime. It's easy to understand, and what I love most about it, I'm gonna see, I don't know if I've already passed by the 9. What I love about this deck is that it tells a story. So the cards, you can put them next to each other and kind of see the story that's coming. So we have, like, the 6 where she's, like, maybe meeting these little mice and they're kind of exchanging and helping one another. And then the 7, they're, like, starting to weave this basket and, like, working together, investing in themselves, using their resources to create something. And then by the 8, they have, like, their hard work is starting to pay off. Like, she's finishing up the basket that she started weaving back here, and things are starting to make sense. And then, of course, I couldn't find the 9 quickly, but by the 10, they have all these baskets with all of their spoils that they, have collected, all the things that they've worked hard to achieve. So what I like about this is that each suit tells a story, and you can lay them out and see the story happening. And I think that's a really good way to learn tarot. It's also a really good, like, reminder of what we're seeing. I just really like to see everything just play out, I guess. And that's what this deck helps with. You can see the story of these characters and kind of help you understand the, I guess, trajectory or the path that is depicted in the minors. And then, of course, the majors are really, really sweet as well. But each of the minors, like, they have, like, characters that end up telling a story. And it's super helpful, and I really, really enjoyed it when I was learning tarot. And it's still, like, this is the deck I come back to. Like, this is my spring deck. I come back to it all the time, and every year I'm so happy to pull it out when the daffodils start springing up, and just kind of use it to dive into tarot in a really fun, quirky, simple way. So, yeah, that is my Mystic Fairy Tarot. And I'll show you how I put it back, because I know I was going to say that. I quite literally have to flip it up like this, put them in, and then kind of, like, fold the corners in. So it's not hard, but it is a little weird. Strange little tuck box. Alright, so the next deck that I have been working with a lot is the Tarot of the Divine Masculine, the Gate to the Secret Garden. And I pair that with Honey Calcite. Now, this deck, in one of my recent videos, it could have been this one, it could have been the Hermetic Tarot, but I got an age restriction on the channel, so I don't really want to get that again. Not that I think tarot shouldn't, or, like, not that I think tarot should be advertised to young people, but I don't think that there's harm in it either, depending on what's depicted. So I'm going to go through with this deck real quick and just make sure that the cards I'm going to show are appropriate. Okay, so of all the cards that I'm going to show you, these are the ones that are covered, everybody's covered, everything is tasteful, everything is appropriate, okay? So this deck, again, there is a lot of nudity in a lot of tarot. That happens in tarot everywhere. So, like, I can't understand why some tarot decks are not meant for youngins. This deck, I will be honest, is very explicit. There is some crazy imagery in this, but of all the ones here, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with this. So, the Tarot of the Divine Masculine is one that I have had on my wish list for a long time. I know I said that in, like, a recent video, but I really want to get in touch with my masculine side. I really want to get in touch with, like, my inner warrior, for example. and just heal parts of me that have been wounded. And so I'm loving this deck. Now, this deck I do not use for clients. I do not use it for anyone but myself. I love the artwork. It is gorgeous. I mean, the colors, everything about this is so beautiful. It's probably one of my most luxurious, most beautiful decks. I mean, I love all the decks I have, to be honest. I do think a lot of them are beautiful, but this one's very luxe. The cardstock is velvety. It's just wonderful. But I love this deck so much, and I have been using it to kind of get in touch with myself, and it's been a I guess, healing deck, an inner work deck. So I've been using it for that purpose. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna tastefully cover that one. It's not a deck that like I want to use for other people. I think it's going to very much fall into the category of like shadow work, personal work decks. So kind of like where my Crow Tarot falls or my Archetypes Oracle, because those I don't ever use for other people. And so I think with this deck, I've been using it a lot just for shadow work, just for inner work, and I haven't pulled it out a ton, but I pulled it out whenever I really need to do like deep transformational stuff. And I think that's how I'm going to continue using it, but it's been one of my recent favorites. I love this deck so much. And yeah, I cannot say like enough about it because it's beautiful. It's really pushed me to explore myself, and I've really been loving it. So this one has a special place in my heart and in my collection, and it's one I've been using a lot recently. Now, kind of diverging here, a deck I've been using a lot for clients very recently has been the Cosmic Tarot, and I pair it with Hematite. So the Cosmic Tarot has this like vintagey vibe, and it's very, very esoteric in a lot of ways. There's a lot of cool like symbolism and things to look at within it. But it's also like been a wonderful reader for clients. I have enjoyed pulling out this vintage deck and reading for people because of the all the like symbols and stuff in the deck, and because of all of the hidden meanings and such, and just the way it's depicted with the art. I've found it to be an incredible reader for other people, and other people really enjoy seeing it in spreads and seeing it on the table. So I've really been favoring this particular. It's just very, I don't know, it has like this bluish tint, blue and pink tint on the cards. It's been in my collection for quite some time. You guys have probably seen it here before, so I won't go talking about it a ton, but it's been a recent favorite just for clients. Like, I haven't really pulled it for me, even though I do think it's a powerful deck, and I think that it's a wonderful reader, and it really, like, I don't know, it really, like, what you need to hear, and it really, like, hits you where it hurts, in a way. So I do really enjoy it. I just haven't been pulling it for me as much as I have for other people, but it's been wonderful in client readings, and I actually took it to a big tarot reading event that I did for some people. I go out and I read tarot for a lot of like big groups, depending, and I just took it out there and it did wonderful. It was a fan favorite. People really enjoyed this one, so that's one that I have been using as of late that I've been loving for clients. So that is the Cosmic Tarot. Alright, so last but not least, another deck I've been loving, and I haven't used it for clients yet, but that is the goal, is I've been using it for myself, but is the Spacious Tarot. Oh, I love the Spacious Tarot. So this rock, I think is, oh goodness, I have a paper. I just got it recently for this deck. It's called, oh dear, Dumortierite? Dumortierite, maybe? Something like that. So I don't know. Brand new. Never heard of it. Don't know what it does. But alright. Now I have a whole entire walkthrough and like deep dive of this deck. I've gotten better at shuffling because it's been used a little bit more. So the cards aren't as clumpy, but they're very stiff. Very stiff cards. But go ahead and put that on top, I guess. But yeah, so the Spacious Tarot is very, very cute. It's very sweet. Like I said, I have a whole deep dive, so if you guys really want to see my thoughts on all the cards, if you want to see my thoughts on the deck, it's up here. You guys can watch it. I do really enjoy it. I find it very quaint. I think it'll be great for spring and summer, so I'm actually really interested in, oh, look how pretty that is. I'm really interested in using it this season, like alongside my Mystic Fairy Tarot. So I think I'm going to start using it soon. I really hope so. I've been using it a little bit on and off. I know it's in my like recent like favorites, but I've been using it a little bit, and honestly, the decks I've been reading the most with are Tarot of the Divine Masculine and Cosmic Tarot for other people, and Mystic Fairy for myself. So Tarot of the Divine Masculine, Mystic Fairy for myself, Cosmic Tarot for other people. And I had a couple others that I've used, like I used my regular RWS for other people in readings, and I took the Mind's Eye Tarot with me to the event I just did, and those did really well. But as far as like ones I keep pulling, that's what we're here for today. And I have been pulling this one for myself. Also, I had a comment from somebody saying that they looked at this like light instead of like whatever I was looking at it like, and they were saying that it looked kind of like in WALL-E when Wally and Eve do a little dance together and like they're in love and all of that. And I think I can appreciate that meaning. I think I understand that meaning. It does, you know, speak to love and romance. I don't know. I wish I wanted something different from this card. I know I talked about it in my deep dive, and I still kind of hold that. I wish there was something different, but whatever. Anyway, I really do enjoy this deck, and I have been enjoying it, and I need to pull it for a client. I just haven't felt called to. Like, when I pull decks for clients, it's something that, like, I just walk up to the shelf and I know. Like, I just know. I just feel it. And I don't second guess. I don't allow myself to second guess. I just pick the deck that's calling me, and that's the one I use. Sometimes I'll pick multiple and let people choose which deck they want to use, like, out of the ones I've drawn for them. But for the most part, I just go up and pick one. And I haven't been called to pick one yet for clients, which is a shame because that's what I really want this deck to be, is like a really solid client reader, but I haven't been called to do it yet, which is, you know, no harm, no foul to the deck. I have loved it for myself. I've done a couple cutesy little readings here and there, and I think I will start pulling it more just for myself to get more acquainted with it maybe as we move into summer. So I think it's going to be a summer deck for me. I think that's what I'm going to do with it. And I think maybe once I get more acquainted, I'll understand the energy and I'll feel called to grabbing the Spacious Tarot, because I think it would be a wonderful reader. I just haven't done it. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, and these are the decks that I've been using recently. Again, these two for myself, this one for clients, moving towards this one with clients, I hope, and taking this with me on a trip very, very soon. So yeah, these are the decks that I've been loving. Obviously, I know I mentioned a couple others that I didn't show in this video, but it's because I've shown them very recently, and I almost didn't show this one because of the same reasons, but I can't help it. I use the decks that that are new a lot, and obviously my seasonal ones that like really speak to me. So anyway, this is what I've been touching base with, and outside of my tarot study, because I do have certain decks that I mentioned in my last video that are specifically for tarot study, and I have been obviously gravitating towards those as I move into my study. But as far as just casual reading, these ones. Shadow work, this one. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I apologize for all the crazy tarot content recently. If you guys want to see other stuff, or if you want me to deep dive into something, let me know. This was just what I could create while I'm traveling. So anyway, thank you again, and until next time, I will catch you guys later.